everyone. I have Mark helping me video today, which is always appreciated. So yesterday I started planting the Espalier apple trees, and it's so difficult to show you everything that I want to show you when I'm lugging around a tripod. So I wanted to come out, explain to you what I'm doing. I did a bunch of cleanup yesterday, and I have 3 more trees that I'm going to plant today. But I wanted to show you what I'm doing so that I can clearly explain what I'm doing. This process is new for me. I've never grown Espalier trees. I've never grown fruit trees. I have ornamental fruit trees, but nothing like this. So this will be a whole new endeavor for me. Just to show you, you can see here I have the obelisks that were along our fence, and I have those now removed. I cut the Thunbergia vines down. They were actually really thickly rooted. I planted just 2 to 3 seeds. You'd be surprised at how much they took root. So come on over this way, Mark, and I'll explain to you guys what I've done so far. So you'll see I have a big bag of vines here. This is from that cleanup. And over here, I have the one tree. You can come this way. Ooh, sorry. I have the one tree planted already. So the plan is, you can see this is an Espalier apple tree. This is from Bower and Branch. And this one is a Honey Crisp. I have 4 that are going to be going down the fence line here. So those obelisks I had were really kind of placeholders. I may put them in between the trees. I'm not sure yet. I just really want to get these in the ground, and they will be coming off of these frames. But the first thing that I want to do is I want to plant them because they are all different. They all have different shapes and structures. Mark, if you just want to show down the line there, they all kind of have different branching right now. So I want to get them in the ground, get them planted so I can see where to start this tension wire trellis that I'm going to be building. And what we're going to do for that is, these vinyl fence posts are actually hollow. We'll sink some 4x4s into these posts, and then we're going to get some anchor bolts that go along inside, so that'll give it stability, so it'll hold and it won't just be going into, you know, shallow empty plastic here. And then we're going to run cables with tension wires with, what are they?
Turnbuckles.
Turnbuckles, thank you, turnbuckles. And that will be able to keep that tension there and keep these, you know, going in the direction that I want. You'll also notice here that the shape isn't exactly what I'd like it to be. Ideally, I want to go for some rows. So a pair in this direction, a pair in this direction. I'll bring this one down and kind of go off in this direction maybe. Or I may clip these 2 off and maybe bring these 2 out. I'll have to see how it comes out. But like this one here, I'll likely clip off. It looks like they may have left some extras just in case maybe something didn't work out with one of the branches. So I'll be reconfiguring kind of the look and feel once I get them in the ground. When I planted this, I'll show you guys my scary garage. Hold on to your hats, guys, because it's not pretty. Everything goes in this garage. Okay, so here's my trusty, don't get too close, Mark. Don't get too close. Let's leave a little mystery here. Okay, so I used my power planter earth auger. You guys have seen me use this when I planted the trees in the back. I'll link to this down below. I love the power planter. There are imitation augers. Don't go for those. Go for the real deal. This is an investment. You need to get the proper drill that goes along with this, as well as the auger piece. It's got a handle here, and there is a clutch. So this, if this gets hung up on something, it'll stop. It's not going to torque you, and you'll see that a red light illuminates on this, letting you know, to kind of ease up and to stop what you're doing, and it will stop. The clutch just automatically stops it. So what I did was I used the auger, and I got as close as I could to the fence here, with leaving, you can see, Mark, right, there's some wiggle room here. So the frame here is keeping this against the fence. But once I get the trellis system in place, I will configure this. The bolts will have the wires out a little bit, from the posts, and I want to leave a gap so that there's nice airflow there. I don't want to harbor any disease. I don't want it smashed right against the fence with no room for it to expand and grow. I mean, it's a living thing here. This trunk is going to get larger, so you know, I want to start it out with a little bit of space in between the fence that it's against. So I did amend the soil, and you guys know I love to use the Espoma Biotone. So I'll be planting the other three. I'll be planting the other three, and I'll be using the Espoma Biotone starter. What this does is it just gets the roots of your trees established. Fall is a wonderful time to plant trees and shrubs and perennials. It's a time when your plant is going dormant. So rather than focusing its energy on leaf growth, on fruit production, it's resting, and it's working on building up the root structure. So the Espoma Biotone is what I use. And with any tree, you want to make sure that the root flare is exposed. So you want the lateral roots of your tree to be able to grow and spread out. I took a lot of the soil off. What I did here was, when the tree was in the container, I took it and I lifted it into my cart here, and then I just tilted it on its side. I removed a lot of the excess soil, which is really nice soil, and like nice fine mulch here. So I removed a great amount of that, and then that allowed me to move the tree much easier, put it into place. I exposed those roots. You've got the surface roots there that are gonna grow out laterally, and then you've got you know, a nice base. It doesn't have all the soil to work through in order to get rooted and established, because it doesn't need all that. So that's definitely something that's important to mention. You don't have to, just because it's in this huge large container, you don't have to make a hole that large. You can remove a great amount of the soil that's around it. You don't want to hill up mulch or soil or anything above that level there. Always keep your trees a little elevated. You don't want to suffocate it by doing like those mulch volcanoes. These are all bad things. So have those roots exposed, give it room to breathe. And then what I did, I didn't want to waste this nice soil, so what I did was I just poured it into my raised bed here, which I'll be able to do. I'll have a lot left to finish off the rest of my beds here, you can see. But I just topped off the bed here. I didn't want to waste it. And I've got some garlic. You can see some little bits of garlic starting to pop up there. This is the variety. Mark, how would you pronounce that?
It's either Mateki garlic, I would say, if it's Italian. I'd say Mateki.
Okay. Yeah. Mark says it's Mateki, so I'm going to call it Mateki because Mark said so. So I've got garlic in here. I just planted that maybe 2 weeks ago. Excuse me, I was spitting. Maybe 2 weeks ago. And then I have another type of garlic in here that isn't showing any growth yet. That one's called Music. So anyway, sorry to divert the attention away there. I just wanted to let you know that, you know, it's okay to remove a lot of the soil. You're not going to hurt your plant or shrub. In fact, you're giving it the ability to find its way quicker and easier. And then you can repurpose this nice soil, because why wouldn't you? That's it. I'm going to set up the camera. I'm going to continue to try and plant some of these. You may see some of the process. You may not see some of the process, but that's it. Okay, thank you, Mark. So this is the last one, like my matching gloves. I'm pooped. I am beat. I am frazzled. All weekend I've been working on this, going in and out from doing one thing to the next thing, but I feel so accomplished. I've got a lot of cleanup because that auger kicks out dirt everywhere. So, last one. Okay. That was the hardest part. not snap my fig tree in the process. So, lay it down like that. Look, it's got a morning glory on it. I apologize for the poor camera angle. So we're gonna get a lot of this soil out. Makes it much easier to move. We don't need all this soil. You want to expose the top roots so that they can go and grow laterally. I had some suckers on here that I was removing. This is a new thing for me. I've never planted fruit trees. I've never planted espaliers. So, all new adventure. Okay, you can see like so much of the root exposed. They are ready to go, and so much easier to maneuver now with all that soil gone. Get a couple more good shakes on here. Here we go. So, get this out. See how much easier it is for me to lift now. This is 15 sections here, so about 7.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. So on this panel here is about where I'm going to center it. I'm going to go this way so you guys don't see my butt. Okay, I'm verifying this because I already had to move one once. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. And I'm gonna try and get it as close to the fence as I can, and we'll see how it goes. Definitely just want to reiterate to leave room for, you don't want it pressed right up against the fence. You want a little bit of airflow there and room for that trunk to grow. So let's go. There's some ivy here, and it's got a clutch, and it stops me from going further, so it wouldn't torque or hurt myself. Nice safety feature there. As with most things in life, nothing's ever easy, so there's a great big root there. I have these from Corona, and they are my favorite. This is the Max Forge Classic Cut, and they are my go-to. I mean, it cut through that like nothing, and that's a pretty solid root there. That absolutely have to have yourself a pair of good sharp pruners. There's a lot of roots in here, so I just want to make sure I am thoroughly giving my new tree space. Okay. Might be good here. I really don't measure this, although I suppose it would be advisable to do that. I just get a nice coverage. Okay. One is the McIntosh. Fourth one. I'm going to turn it this way. There you go. All right. So part 2, I will be setting up the cabling system along the fence. That'll probably be even more interesting than this is, honestly. And then after that, I'll be doing bulbs, lots of bulbs to plant. I have my order from Color Blends that I'm super excited about. And then I will be able to install landscape lights in here and get things all buttoned up. Thank you guys so much for joining me in the garden today, and I hope to see you in part 2. Have a great day, guys.